Yo, what's going on YouTube? Welcome back, man. I finally got to you guys and gave you the long awaited part 2 to my PC build, video. I don't really know what to call it, but the PC video. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about it, how I've been feeling about this pre-built, how I feel about NZXT, how my setup came about, and what everything is here to do and how it all functions. But before we get into any of that good stuff that you guys are really interested in, I gotta do my part in saying, if you guys just now found this channel, or if you do end up enjoying this content, man, please hit that sub button. The goal is to reach 1,000 subs. I'm not putting a time period on it or anything like that, just that's the goal right now. Also, turn that notification bell on so you'll always be notified whenever I have another video go live. And like and share the videos so that other people might be able to see it. Now, if this is your first time watching the video, I'll have a link right here to where you guys can watch the original unboxing of my PC and how I talked about the specs and everything in there. If you're a returner, the specs are all still the same. You know what I mean? The parts, y'all know the parts expensive. They expensive. So anyways, the parts are still the same, man. We just kind of gonna be going through my experience with the computer since unboxing it. So first things first, man, I feel like the biggest elephant in the room that I should address is just how good is a NZXT pre-built PC. And in my honest opinion, they are pretty damn good. I don't see any real issues with getting a pre-built. But I've also never owned a PC that I put together myself. But just off of like firsthand experience, like gaming and browsing or whatever you might want to use your PC for, it's perfectly fine. The only real issue that I had in the very beginning, like the second day I unboxed it, was my RAM sticks would turn bright red from the different colors that you could choose from, and I thought that was kind of weird. But then after that, the PC itself, it would freeze and then turn itself off, but it hasn't done that since then. I don't know if that was on my end. I might have did something wrong or whatever the case may be, so I don't want to completely put that off on NZXT whatsoever. So yeah, I don't really want to put too much of that on them. I was still inexperienced, did not know all that much about what was going on with the PC. I did look some things up though, man. Like I said, I did my research beforehand, but that was kind of just weird, but hasn't happened since. Another thing that is an issue on my end as well is the fact that I didn't get enough space on my PC. So I started to run into the issue of kind of running low on some storage. And it was games like Call of Duty, Warzone, obviously, Apex, that eats up a lot of space. I have Valorant. I have all these different games as of right now. So currently I have about 5 different games all on my PC at the moment. Apex Legends being the biggest, out of all of them, because it eats up the most space. So it would be between Apex and Call of Duty, Warzone, if you're gonna choose one of those games. If you're just getting the standard pre-built PC with the lowest bit of storage that you can possibly get. So keep that in mind. Like I said, that is 5 games though, and one of them being a pretty big game. So in all honesty, that is still pretty good because I don't really play many other games at the moment. So it's not a big issue like that. You could always go and buy more storage, you know what I'm saying? Like it's not that hard or that bad. And I also have an external hard drive that I it's instead of using it on my main PC, I use it on my laptop. We'll get into that later on in the video. It's worked really well with any Xbox controllers I have. The PC has worked really well with my Astro controller. I did have to do a little backdoor kind of, I don't want to say sketchy, but I had to do a little extra to get the Astros to be recognized, but it wasn't anything bad or too hard. You just had to get your computer to recognize it as an Xbox controller, and something's gonna pop up where it states that there might be a possibility your PC or the whatever might be damaged. perfectly fine. Been doing it and using it for months now, and there have been no issues. So another plus side to it. So other than that, there are no real issues with the PC, man. It's worked perfectly fine, in great shape. I'm still gonna add to it. I want to add more RAM. Obviously, I'm gonna eventually have to add more storage on here. And one of the last major things that I want to do is probably get a new graphics card, but those are the only major issues, not even issues. Those are the only major changes that I really want to make to my PC, aside from getting more LEDs and stuff like that, just for the aesthetics for myself. But other than that, man, this PC has been great to me. It works perfectly fine, runs very smooth. I can have multiple things going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can play a game and also have YouTube open in the background if I want to have music, or if I was, whatever the case may be. It can multitask really well, and it doesn't like overwork itself. It's not loud, does not overheat, and it hasn't broken down on me yet. So if you were worried about getting a pre-built PC because you didn't know if they were going to be built right, if the shipping and handling was going to be just bluntly a piece of shit, it's not. For my end anyways. I know there are people out there that had worse experiences, but that's, if we're being honest, that's with just about anything in life, especially when you're ordering something online. You just kind of never know what type of shipping and handling is going to be provided to you, and you know what I mean? So you always kind of got to be wary of that. But like I said, man, it was great, and it's still been really good to me. This PC is holding up like a beast. Betsy is what I call her, and I love it, man. It was the best investment that I've made, because I did not want to spend X amount of money on price gouged parts and then have to put it together myself and feel like I spent $3,000 on a PC that should have only originally been maybe $1,400. You know what I'm saying? So for me, getting this pre-built was not a bad thing, and again, you could always add to it. So I say all that to get to the point of, it does not matter if you get a pre-built or you do it yourself. I know there are going to be people that are like, you should just always do it yourself, and if you can and if you have the money, go right ahead and do it yourself. But if you're just looking because you want a PC now, you want to game with your friends now, and you want to do all those things that you see PC players do, then go ahead and get you a pre-built and just add on to it later, especially if that's all you can afford at the moment. And NZXT has great options, man. There are other good sites out there that you can get pre-builts from, not sketchy ones. I don't know the exact names of them at the moment because I'm not currently looking anymore. But I would not recommend getting a pre-built PC off of Amazon. I'm not, a little sketchy. I'm gonna be real, it's a little sketchy. The PC's gonna come and it'll run probably, but you're gonna run into a lot of other issues. Whereas with NZXT, this is not a sponsored video. I should put that out there. This is not sponsored, but with NZXT, you're for sure gonna get some high quality parts, and for the most part, like I said, there are those rare occasions that your PC is possibly gonna have some issues, but for the most part, man, from everything that I've seen and everything that I've experienced myself, you're gonna get an extremely good PC that's gonna run perfectly fine. It's gonna allow you to play the games that you want to play at high qualities. For example, I can play Apex Legends at ultra settings. I can play Valorant at ultra settings. I can play a lot of games at ultra. There's gonna be a slight, and I do mean the slightest bit of maybe like some lag or something like that if your PC isn't built for that. But I did get this PC built to play those games in ultra if I wanted to. There's never a need to play the games at ultra, but if you wanted to. So yeah, man, I think that's pretty much gonna sum it up. Like, I love this PC so much. I can't wait to add on to it again, and I can't wait to just see what the finished product is gonna look like when I am all done with it. The laptop is an Asus, and I don't remember all the specs for it exactly. If I find them and everything like that, I'll put them up on the screen for you guys so you can see it, but I'm not too sure. Got it over a year ago now, almost 2 years ago. Huh, wow, time flies, man. But this was my original gaming PC, and I played only Apex on it sparingly, because for the most part, I was still gaming on my PS4, and I was just more so using the laptop to stream. Currently, that's all I'm using it for now. I use it to stream, I use it to record, and I still use it for other little things like browsing occasionally on the sites for certain things. If I'm on my main PC gaming, I might use it for music. You know, it just does a lot of the background work, a lot of the hard work, if we're being honest. And I wouldn't replace this thing, man. It's a pretty good PC. So the original price for the PC is $1,000, and we had just missed the sale price date, whatever you want to call it. And I had to end up just paying essentially the $1,000 for the laptop. But man, like I said, it's still really good and it still works perfectly fine. It's a i7. It has NVIDIA, and it's lacking on the RAM. It's lacking, but you can still play games such as Apex Legends. You can play your sports games on here. You can play Naraka, Blade Point if you're into that. There's a lot of games that you still can play on this laptop. I just don't need to anymore because I have Betsy. So that's pretty much gonna do it for my little gaming setup. Sorry it wasn't the greatest. Again, I am still trying to build on it, man. I want to add more. If at some point next year we can possibly get a house, which is the plan, hopefully I can have my own little room and you guys can see more. You guys will be able to see me add on to it. You will be able to see all the changes that I make. So I hope that you guys are along for the entire trip, road, journey, whatever you want to call it, because it's gonna be a long one. I still got a ways to go, man, but I hope that you guys did end up enjoying it. And if you guys were thinking about doing this yourself, I hope I was able to motivate you into purchasing a pre-built PC, or just saying F it and go ahead and try and have your own little man cave set up, even if it is small at the moment, man. But with that, that's gonna do it. Thank you guys for sticking around for the video. Sorry it took so long. I just really wanted to make sure I got some good time in with this PC before I gave you guys my final review on it. And with that, man, I'm gonna finally get up out you guys' hair, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one.
Every moment she independent with a mind that I never noticed. It got me running out my mind like I never noticed. They tryna knock me on my pivot, dog, I need a focus. Got the burner on my side cause I'm too devoted. They steady tryna come and slide, I just know it's loaded. Got these demons on my side, how I never noticed. But when you out here doing bad, that's when they the closest. Got me out here on my let loose.